Hello and welcome to the Royal Berkshire Hospital. Thank you for coming to assess our fast follower bid for the GDU programme. I'm sorry I can't be there with you. I was all for cancelling my trip to Switzerland, but unfortunately it was vetoed by my wife, so you'll have to forgive me. So I'm Jon Swinburn, I'm the CCIO. I've been doing this role really since we started this programme back in 2009. It's been a long road. We've learned an awful lot along the way, and we're very excited about our imminent program, or our current program, to deliver electronic documentation and electronic prescribing, which is really going to be, the tipping point and the thing that really brings us into full-blown electronic documentation. It's going to radically alter how we deliver our health care to our patients and how we can get data out of the system. So this is clearly a crucial moment for us. So if I take you back to 2009, our original intention was to go live as a big bang with a PAS system, with PathLab, not just ordering, but the entire PathNet system was going to go in. Theatres was going to be electronic, and the emergency department. And for a whole variety of reasons, that was de-scoped, and we really went live just with the PAS and with the emergency department. And that was a real shame for a whole variety of reasons, not least because we are so far behind now, but we did have a huge head of steam and interest in clinicians. We had a large group of enthusiastic people, all keen to be involved, and because we de-scoped and really delivered outside the emergency department, delivered nothing but PAS, lost a huge amount of interest. And we had several years in the wilderness where nothing much happened. Over about 3 years ago now, Heather arrived, our director of IT, and brought with her several team members, including Amanda and Nigel, who between them have really driven things forward. And as you know, last year we deployed order communications, so electronic ordering of pathology and radiology. So overnight we went to electronic ordering of radiology, which required the vast majority of clinicians to interact with the system where many hadn't done before. So that was a major development. Pathology, for a variety of reasons, we rolled out much more slowly, and actually in retrospect I think rolled out too slowly. We allowed people to stay on paper and for a significant period of time, and it has been difficult to get some of the final Luddites, shall we say, to move into an electronic system. So there's been an important learning for us, and that whole typical argument about big bang versus phased deployment. But because we are now live with both of those ordering systems, virtually every clinician now has to interact with the system. Some love it, many tolerate it, and there's a few, clearly, as in everywhere, who hate it. And this is going to be, as I say, the clinical documentation will be the next big thing. But to get to the state where this is going to work, we really need to further develop that clinical engagement and really make sure that everybody's on board and this is going to work for the trust and for the users. So to that end, we have appointed last week 3 deputies for me, so that we can spread the word and really get out there into clinical areas, because I've been really working on my own, and while I've been trying to do that, it has been difficult in a large hospital. We appointed a chief nursing information officer who again will be doing that within the nursing groups. The nurses are already really very far advanced in terms of clinical documentation. They've been reviewing all the detailed nursing assessments for over 6 months now, and are really enthusiastic and excited about this program. We have a dedicated operational lead for the program, and we hope to appoint shortly a communications lead dedicated to the program, because again we realize how crucial those two roles are. One of our learnings from recent deployments has been that we have often involved operations a little bit too late, I think. Often they've been busy doing day-to-day operational stuff, and we know that they need to be involved up front. We have to get the processes right, and this has been helped in great part by Steve McManus, our new chief executive, who's completely behind this program. It makes a huge difference, I think, to have a senior management team that are bought in and are actually driving this. So with Steve doing that, and Mary Sherry is the senior responsible officer, who, while I think she would happily agree that she's not a technological expert, that she absolutely gets the rationale for this and is driving the program with great enthusiasm and learning an awful lot along the way. So so clinical engagement is crucial. We are really pushing that now because we know the program won't work without high levels of clinical engagement, and we already have leaders and key contact go-to people in every specialty driving the operational engagement and the communications, we will be pushing over the course of the next 6 to 12 months while we deliver this program. So that's what we've been doing in house. Clearly, no man is an island, and we recognise that many people are well ahead of us for this, and that's obviously the whole point of the GDE program, is that we learn from Oxford and we take what we can from them and stop reinventing the wheel. And again, obviously, our learnings as part of that sort of cut and paste process, we will be able to package up and to help other people deploy in the future. So, we've worked with Oxford for many years, long before the fast follow-up program was envisaged, but we've been working particularly closely recently, as you would expect. We have been working with their pharmacists around the complex prescribing, and we have a bunch of workshops already scheduled for September and October they are coming in and demonstrating those processes to us, and we hope and anticipate that for the majority of them we will be using the current Oxford process, and only if there's very good reason to do so will we deviate from that. We anticipate that we will be, where possible, mirroring their Audible catalogues to ensure that there's a large number of staff, particularly medical staff, who migrate backwards and forwards between the Oxford hospitals and between Reading. And if the catalogues look broadly similar, then it makes life a lot easier for them. It just makes a lot more sense. So that's one of our ambitions. The other ambition is that a lot of our letters, discharge summaries, clinic letters will look broadly similar, if not identical, because again, writing to GPs, it doesn't make sense to have widely differing communication mechanisms, and we believe that will help improve communication across the patch, so everybody knows what they're looking at. So those are examples of how we are working together with Oxford, but it's not just Oxford that we're working with. We've recently been to visit West Suffolk. They were kind enough to host us, another one of the GDE sites. We got a lot of useful information from them, and in particular their paediatric prescribing. We were very impressed by that, something that Oxford haven't done, and they are very happy for us to take their paediatric prescribing build. So that's, we will happily learn from anyone and everyone that we can. We've worked closely with Imperial. We've been up to see them on numerous occasions and have close links with them, not least because Steve McManus came from there. But they've given us a lot of helpful information about the rollout process and how they delivered their program across 3 hospitals, so clearly are very challenging. And we're still in discussions about whether we do this as a big bang, as a multi-phase rapid go live or what have you. But their input has been very helpful. We've been to Kingston on numerous occasions. We've had a lot of discussions with them and with suppliers about hardware. And we've already, we learned the lesson with order comms that we didn't have enough hardware, we didn't have enough variety in hardware. We've been looking at hardware now for over 6 months. We've done all sorts of trials over the last few months. We've actually just put an order in for a lot of hardware yesterday, and we'll be buying a lot more as part of the rollout. But we've designed with the company our own drug trolley for the electronic prescribing, or for the electronic dispensing rollout as and when the time comes. So we will work with anyone and everyone. Clearly, this is focused on specifically on us working with Oxford and doing as little reworking as we possibly can. But I hope I have reassured you that we have a huge amount of buy-in, not just clinical but also operational, and that we will only build that over the course of the next few months as we ramp this program up and deliver a very successful clinical documentation and electronic prescribing rollout, and then move on to the next phases of our electronic patient record, and have a system that ultimately will help us to provide the best possible care and most efficient care to patients in Reading, and also help us to help other hospitals in the future who are looking to go on the same journey that we have gone on. So I hope that's useful. I hope the rest of your visit I hope you get all the information that you need, and that you will see fit to grant us fast follower status to Oxford to enable us to deliver this exciting and ambitious program.